Hello, everyone. This is Rick with the Cyber Pro podcast, where industry leaders share their insights. 5 questions in 9 minutes because hackers never sleep. So let's get to it. Question number one: who are you and what do you do?
I'm Adrianus Warmenhoven. I'm hailing from the nice city of Zwolle, the Netherlands. And I'm with Nord Security and I do defensive strategy. And I'm also manager of threat intelligence at Threat Protection Products. It's a whole mouthful.
That's you have a lot of tasks on your to-do list.
Yes,
Why do you love being a cyber professional?
it's awesome because you get to play with just about anything. I was allowed to hack cars, hack planes, do things at an airport. I've played with megawatts and 10,000s of volts. And you can also sit at the SOC and have it really uneventful. You can make your life as exciting or as uneventful as you want because cybersecurity is everywhere.
That's awesome. I love the thinking outside of the box when you think about cybersecurity. So
Absolutely.
when we talk about cybersecurity, the buzzword of the day is it's top of mind. It's a top concern. But what does cybersecurity as a top concern mean to you?
Well, that it wasn't the top concern in the last 10 to 20 years when productivity was actually the gold mine. If you look at a lot of software and services, it's not bad. We've seen a lot of growth, and the world has grown from absolutely no computers because that was in my youth. We only had books. There was nothing online. There wasn't even a computer in our house. To everything connected, and you see that productivity and well, they didn't have security in mind then because that was just a cost post. We used to always to say if you do security right, it will only cost you and you will notice nothing, and that wasn't top of mind back then.
That's a great way to put it. I'm going to ask a little side question.
Yeah,
As we've gotten more connected, has the productivity side, do you think the productivity has gone down a bit?
it has parallelized. It's not single units working very hard on one item, but there's so many parallel things and different offerings. It's also hard to choose. So productivity, if you would stack it together, it would be the same, but it's now diversified.
Nice. What insight do you want to share with our community?
I think that you really should start with the basics of computing and basics of networking and learn about how all these things work together. And then you learn to how to read specifications and those kind of things like RFCs. And the reason for that is that if you miss something or if you have a gap, you can in your mind make that work together and just figure out, okay, I'm missing these small parts. You can still specialize, but the generics you really should have. And this is the advice I give for from CISO to network engineer. It really doesn't matter. It always works.
Do you think that we've gotten to a culture where people are so focused on that specialization, right? Like they come out of college and they go, or even they go into college and they go, I want to be a red team member or I want to do threat intelligence. Do you think do you think that's where we're going? And is that a bad thing?
I do think it's a bad thing. I think the speciality you should have, but it's just a special thing for you. But you should be general. I don't have it now at hand, but there's a really nice quote by Arthur C. Clarke about that. Well, specialization is for ants. That goes on about what you should be able to do as a person, so you can be of use in all situations for humanity. And specialization is really for ants. It's a quote I love to post. But yeah, specialization is not a good thing. You miss the overview of what's really going on.
No, that's super insightful, and we appreciate that. I think, excuse me, I think as a whole, the people I meet with, they they are so focused on what they think they want to do, and they miss all those little steps. I came in, non-traditionally, didn't go to college for an IT degree or anything like that, but I had to follow the steps to understand. Okay, what do I need to know to get to that next layer? And I feel now I can specialize. I haven't. I like being very broad, but I really appreciate your insights on that. If you were talking to a new college graduate, let's say, somebody
Yeah.
who's gone through a boot camp or gone through college and is about to get into the world of cybersecurity, where do you think they should kind of start, cut their teeth at?
First, something which probably no other cybersecurity professional will tell you, but first learn about people and organizations because your opponents in cybersecurity are very smart people. They have different life goals and different objectives, but they are smart people. It's not like technology comes crawling out of the woodworks and you have to analyze it because that's what I see a lot of cybersecurity people do, act like it's created by God or nature or anything like that. But really it's smart people and you have to figure out why are they doing this. I'm really meaning this. Why are they doing this? What are they gaining? And then you can picture yourself as the opponent. So really start studying people and criminal organizations before you start doing the technical stuff.
Reverse
Technical stuff,
social
of course.
engineering, right?
Yes, exactly.
Now that's amazing. I've never heard it put so eloquently. So thank you. I think that's a very profound way to guide people that are coming into our community. Fun question, final question. What's your favorite piece of retro technology that makes you smile?
Yeah, people call it retro, but it's my youth. It's my ZX Spectrum 128K plus. I got it. My mom was always really being fair and honest. So my brother got a ghetto blaster in the 1980s, like these big things, and I was allowed to pick something else. So I picked my ZX Spectrum, and that started it all for me. I learned programming, assembly. I made my first network with it, with the audio ports. My ZX Spectrum, hands down. I still have it, by the way, in my room. I can't move the camera, but it's still working. It has a monitor. So
That's
yeah,
amazing. Adrianus, thank you so much for being on the Cyber Pro
you're welcome.
podcast.
You did it. You made it to the end. Check us out for future podcasts and more content.